Hello, friends, and welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey, here once again with the latest news and rumors around the Vikings. Before we get going on today's show, if you love the Vikings, if you love football, if you love the NFL, show it by liking today's video. Since there is no love option on YouTube, we'll have to settle for a like. Show your support by liking today's video right now. We're going to begin with some interesting comments made by one Justin Jefferson, who spoke about how he's excited with the adjustments and changes and tweaks coming to the Vikings offense, saying it is completely different, which is not a surprise. Although there are elements, especially from a run game philosophy standpoint, of what the Vikings had done with Mike Zimmer, the Kevin O'Connell offense is very different. I believe, from a terminology standpoint and from a philosophical standpoint as it relates to the run versus the pass. You might see some similar zone run concepts, but you're not going to see the same level. Here is what Justin Jefferson had to say. Quote, "It's not a run-first offense anymore. Just us being able to put different people in different positions and distributing the ball. Really, I'm so excited in this offense. Us just being in OTAs, learning the plays, going through it with our defense and stuff. We're all excited. We're all happy to have him, a.k.a. Kevin O'Connell. It's definitely a different vibe and different connection in the building with him there. I say welcome to the modern NFL. Mike Zimmer, who was a good head coach for a long time, I believe had lost touch with how things are run in the NFL. A run-first, establish it, control the clock offense can keep you in a lot of close games. It's exactly what happened with Minnesota. But it also makes it trickier to win them if you are banking on your quarterbacks making a bunch of third down plays and making a bunch of comebacks. Those will happen, but it's tougher to convert a 3rd and 5 than it is to convert a 2nd and 5. Maybe throw it on first down just a little bit more. Jefferson, by the way, has been a premier receiver since he entered the NFL, and he might even get more targets this year in the offense. I think Jefferson is going to thrive this year for Minnesota. Frankly, I think the offense is going to be really good. You got Kirk Cousins. I think the offensive line is coming along. I think you're going to have a lot of targets to Jefferson, stuff some for Thielen, for Dalvin Cook, etc. So what do you think? This is a bold question that I think the answer is no to, but we'll give you guys a chance to maybe disagree, since I think Jefferson's one, if not, worst case, top 2 young receivers in the NFL. Could Jefferson have so much success he could be the rare receiver to win NFL MVP? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Type in Y for yes or N for no. Now, more passing in theory would mean fewer carries for Dalvin Cook. But I do think it's important to remember that it's just not going to be a 300-touch workload for Dalvin Cook. The Rams gave Todd Gurley the ball plenty when he was healthy. They did run the football with O'Connell involved in the offense. Dalvin Cook will still get his touches. I just think you'll see a little bit more in terms of touches going in the receiving game to Cook. And they're not going to heavily establish. And in an ideal world, this is what I want out of all my backs in the end, Dalvin Cook becomes my closer. I take leads early on in games via the pass. I run when defenses dare me to. And then in the fourth quarter, Dalvin Cook takes over when the defense is gassed and he lights them up. All of this, by the way, does mean one thing for the offense. Whatever excuses have been made for Kirk Cousins, they got to stop. His production has been. You can put up Kirk Cousins' statistical production with any quarterback in the NFL, and there's only a handful that's not like, well, yeah, clearly you don't want Kirk Cousins. Like, his production is that of a top 10 QB. I think at times, and this is something Mike Zimmer complained about, Cousins has been too conservative. He is too risk-averse, which leads to a great touch-to-interception ratio, but sometimes you'll take the interception if it means bigger plays on offense, and I suspect Kevin O'Connell will be pushing for something similar out of Kirk Cousins. The next step for Kirk, even if the statistical production dips a little bit, is to lead his team to more success. There is plenty of blame to go around. Don't get me wrong on that standpoint. It's far from just Kirk's fault. It's not even Kirk's fault that much. But the quarterback, the high-paid quarterback, he gets the blame and the credit. Let's see him have more success, the team, and Kirk will get more credit just like that. I know it's a boring part of the NFL offseason, but an NBA free agency is just around the corner. We'll see if the Timberwolves get creative in any capacity. If you haven't already, make sure you guys go subscribe to the Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll put the link in the comment section and in the description of today's video. If you want the best live and non-live VOD NBA free agency coverage, we got you covered. youtube.com/chatsportstv. Breakout season for Cameron Dantzler is the next topic here on Minnesota Vikings Now by Chat Sports. Pro Football Focus released their Year 3 breakout candidates. 2 names for the Vikings made it on there, Ezra Cleveland and Cam Dantzler. We'll focus in on Cam Dantzler here, as I agree with this selection. I am excited about a potential breakout for Dantzler. More on that, but first the 10 Year 3 breakout candidates: Jerry Jeudy, Ezra Cleveland, Travis Gibson of the rival Bears, Grant Delpit, Isaiah Simmons, Jonathan Grenard, Jonah Jackson, another guard just like Ezra Cleveland, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Duggar, and Cam Dantzler. I actually think that the new regime change for Minnesota is actually going to benefit Dantzler. I don't want to body Mike Zimmer in the same way he once bodied Kellen Mond, but I don't think that Zimmer, for whatever reason, made the best use of Dantzler's skill set. It was often confusing to me to see Dantzler not be the guy out there, right? Like, to not consistently get chances as a true starter. The just refusal to play him over Bashaud Breeland before he kind of forced his way out of the NFL, more or less, was deeply confusing and troubling to me. Dantzler's got talent. He was a good scheme fit. He's still a good scheme fit. Dantzler right now is cornerback 2. And although Andrew Booth is going to push him, I think they're also both going to push Patrick Peterson. In an ideal world, Cam Dantzler, Andrew Booth, whether it's CB1, CB2 for either, both of those guys by the end of the season emerge as the top 2 corners on this Vikings team. So do you think that the breakout year is coming for Cam Dantzler? 1 for yes or 0 for no? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. The other name on that breakout candidate list was Ezra Cleveland, who, it's always weird to me when you see that type of like PFF grade, right? And they go, oh, well, wait a minute. Ezra Cleveland only allowed 1 sack, and you're giving him a 55.5 PFF grade? That seems super weird. Now, I get it. There were a decent amount of hurries, not that many hits. That's one of those I go, I think you're too low on him. And that's also why I think the breakout year is coming for Cleveland. Solid run blocker. Opposite or in between Christian Darrisaw and Garrett Bradbury, it's been a little up and down for Cleveland, especially with Darrisaw missing time last year as a starter. It's been a bit tricky to figure out how to balance everything out. Cleveland is a strong scheme fit in Minnesota. Ezra Cleveland, of course, missed opportunity by the Browns to not draft him. Imagine how many Cleveland 69 jerseys they could have sold. But that's why they're the Browns. He's a great fit for what Kevin O'Connell wants to do on Minnesota's offense. More outside zone stuff. Athletic linemen, I think, are a cornerstone of what I think O'Connell will end up doing, and I think he's got enough power either way. So name a player who you think will break out in 2022. Cleveland, maybe it's Cam Dantzler, maybe it's the next guy we're about to talk about here, but let me know in the comments, and feel free to throw strays at Cleveland just like I did the Browns, of course, for absolutely no reason. Could the Vikings get more out of Irv Smith? ESPN, Field Yates went through one last offseason move all 32 NFL teams need to do or make or whatever. The pick for the Vikings was get the most out of Irv Smith, which is fine, although that is not a move. That is not, you don't like, we're going to move and get the most. That doesn't make any sense. It's fair to want more and hope to get more out of Irv Smith. That is not a move. That's a goal, right? And I think getting more out of Irv Smith is important. So we'll talk about it because Irv Smith missed all of last season. It was supposed to be the breakout year for him. I like his fit in the Vikings offense with Kevin O'Connell. I am excited about Irv Smith this year. But I also know this. It is now or never for him in Minnesota. I also look at the depth chart and go, I see Johnny Munt, who I know knows the scheme, Ben Ellefson, Zach Davidson, Nick Muse. If it's not Irv Smith, the Vikings are going to be bad at tight end this year. So I'm hoping for that breakout campaign. A very high over-under being set here for Irv Smith because everyone always takes the over, so we keep it high. 7 touchdowns for Irv Smith this year. Type in O for over or U for under. While you're down there typing in O or U, make sure you guys are subscribed. Help us reach that 5,000 subscriber mark. If you haven't already, hit that big red button for more Vikings videos.